Fantasy Island, or I'm sorry, I'm not going to try to compare with the original TV series. We're going to call it Blumhouse's Fantasy Island.
Yeah.
Is directed by Jeff Wadlow, excuse me, and stars Michael Pena, Maggie Q, Lucy Hale, Michael Rooker, and among others. And this is based on the television series Fantasy Island, Fantasy Island from the 1977 television series. And it deals with these group of people that go to this tropical island that they end up going to, and they sign an agreement to where they can basically live out their fantasies. They want to basically do what they want to do in their fantasy and try to bring their dreams to come true.
They got different fantasies. One guy wants to see his dad again because his dad died in a war, some kind of like mission that went wrong.
Yeah.
And then you got one who's trying to relive the tale of her fighting with a bully and wants to pay her back.
Yeah, and then
everybody's got various
different stories, but in this, and then as you see in the trailers, there's some shit that goes down to where it turns out to having twists and turns, and it becomes a lot worse for them than what they expect.
Yeah.
Now, here, just to get a little backstory. Now, as we said, this film was based on the television series from the 70s, which I actually hear a lot of good things about. I hear it's actually a classic, and it stars the guy, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Ricardo Esteban, or whatever his name is, the guy that played Khan from Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan. Yeah. He was in the original television series along with that guy who played in one of the James Bond movies. With
the little short guy.
He was like,
you guys know it's the famous the plane.
Yeah, that's where that show comes from.
Yeah,
and that show had such a huge following that I never really expected them to do a movie, because in the 90s they did a revival in the 90s.
What's funny is whenever I saw the trailers to this film, I did not make any connections at all. I forgot all about that show until I looked it up. I was like, oh fuck, that one? It's off of that show? I mean, I don't remember watching the show. I don't remember it being a horror.
No, I just know it's kind of has fantasy elements.
It's fantasy.
It's more drama-ish from what I hear.
Yeah.
From reading up on it. And also there was a revival series they did in the 90s with Malcolm McDowell. So this movie, from the trailers, I was already kind of really not skeptical.
Now, I'll tell you alright, this is what my thoughts are. When I saw the trailers, it looked interesting until I saw Blumhouse. When I saw Blumhouse, I started getting fucking worried.
Well,
if you know the history, Blumhouse, PG-13,
or
they just need to leave home.
And what's interesting, the same director was the same director of this, also did Truth or Dare a couple
years ago.
I
saw that, when I saw his name connected, and I remember Truth or Dare, I was like, oh fuck, Blumhouse, that dude, and PG-13.
Lucy Hale, the same girl too.
I was like, this is gonna fucking fail.
And it has the same actress, Lucy Hale, who is most known for Pretty Little Liars, but if you remember Truth or Dare, it has pretty much the same connections with that. And so going into the trailers, I like I was interested with at least the concept, what they could have done. But upon seeing this film, this was a lot fucking worse than I thought.
Yeah, upon seeing the film on my angle, what the fuck? How did this go this wrong? Only Blumhouse could fuck this up.
Well, keep in mind, last year we put Black Christmas on our worst of list as our #1 worst film of last 2019. That was also a Blumhouse movie. So
that's what I'm saying. Blumhouse fucks up.
Once again,
Truth or Dare. Let's name a couple of them.
Black Christmas.
Black Christmas. There's a lot more. They make them every year.
They also did. I have a soft spot for Happy Death Day 1.
See, the Happy Death Days. I
know you hated Happy Death Day 2, but I'm just saying, with those.
I'm just saying the standard.
They're PG-13 horror films.
They
cater, Unfriended.
No, listen, they cater to these teenage horror PG-13s that I personally don't fucking care for. And it sucks because they come up with such the greatest concepts and then they fucking massacre them.
They do. And now, granted, Blumhouse has made good movies that I've seen. Like, for example, they've done other films such as Upgrade. Okay. Jordan Peele's movies like Us and.
I don't understand how they could do shit like that and not know that those movies that they try hard on and they want hard R and all that stuff, do not fucking... Why don't do that with every movie?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Why is it like, oh, we need 10-year-olds to see this shit?
I know.
And that's the thing that they cater for. And it's not making them money. It used to, but you could see now, if you go and watch an opening day, you can see that the people are starting to trim out. They don't want to see these films anymore.
Yeah, and upon seeing this, holy shit, was this fucking bad.
This movie...
this was a film that not only was bad, also, I'll admit, I almost dozed off toward the end of the movie because I was so fucking bored with this movie.
Now, I'll get into my cons and stuff here in a second, but let me state this real quick. I was so fucking lost. This movie, how did it go from a simple concept that could have been interesting and then have a cool twist and be so concluded with so many fucking twists, turns, and tropes and fucking storylines that this film ended up having more fucking story lines and plots than fucking Avengers.
Yeah.
It's a simple fucking horror film.
It is a... Yeah, we'll go into more here later on, but let's just say this movie was like, I was like fucking...
I was confused.
I was like, did someone just take my fucking brain out? Because I'm like really confused here. What the fuck is going on with this movie?
It's safe to say that whenever I walked out of theater, I was probably... My IQ dropped about fucking 30 for just a split second because I had to look at him, I had to look at my son went with us, and he was passed out.
Yeah,
I had to look around like, what the fuck? What's the story about? And that's how bad it gets.
Yeah,
and let's get into our pros.
Yeah, pros.
Concept was the only pro for
pros. I will say, like concept-wise, yes. I think that if you really could do if you're going to adapt something like Fantasy Island, that TV series, you could make something with it. You know, do something interesting with the concept.
The concept was so good. It's so good. This could have been a very good film.
It could, yes.
Film.
And also, I will admit, there are like. Cinematography wise, it is like it is it's beautifully looking with the way it's shot on the cinematography on the islands and stuff, and what's
funny is I believe they shot this in Fiji or
I think so,
island. Yeah.
There is also, I will say, to a small degree, the only thing I kind of found interesting with the film was because he's hardly in it, but Micah Rooker's character I felt was like the only interesting part that I think if you would have made like a whole movie surrounded about him, you probably could have done something.
Well, here's the problem with that. He's an interesting character, and he's thrown in here, and apparently he's got history with this island, but then he's just so like recycled and thrown away. It's like, what the fuck was he in?
Right, he was pointless, but I'm just saying that there's ideas you could have used with his character.
No, it started off interesting, like he was going to be something like a backbone.
Yeah.
But then they had to pull that stupid quick sacrifice bullshit. I'm like,
oh
my god, this is fucking bad.
But yeah,
so anyways, I'll tell you one more little thing I think was interesting looking is the design of that creature guy, that fucking surgeon.
Yeah, that was looking cool. You know what he reminded me of? He was like a cross between... Well, like the look of remember that dude that was like the surgeon dude off a Hostel? Yeah. The guy with the surgeon and everything.
Yeah.
Kind of mixed with that with a little bit of like what's that other one that we watched?
He looks like something that would be working for Dr. Satan.
Pretty much, yeah. That was what I was gonna say. Dr. Satan a little bit, kind of like a mix between those.
Yeah, he looked cool, even though his story made no fucking sense of him being in the film, and I didn't get who he was and why he kept. Rinse and repeat and coming back after looking like he died like 30 fucking times in this movie. But anyways, that's pretty much all my pros. So here we get to our fucking cons, and no other than starting with the biggest problem of this film is the writing. What the fuck, man? Okay. I don't know how I can explain this because this is gonna be fucking hard. You follow other characters, and everybody's got their long, drawn-out stories. Mm-hmm. But then the writing gets so fucking crazy to the point where it's like they're intertwining with each other's dreams. Then it ends up being somebody else's dreams. And then somebody else's dreams after that.
Yeah, it's...
out of revenge.
Yeah, like, let's try to go one at a time here. So...
I don't know how to explain
okay, so... Some of the characters that we bring up, we'll just try to break it down here.
Yeah.
One of the characters, played by Maggie Q, has a back history with a guy that she was trying to get with, and she had a mindset of her fantasy that she wants to have is to live a life as basically having a kid and being married, having a kid with her life.
Yeah.
What's really fucked up about the writing in this entire segment that we spin on her character is fucking pointless. Like really, her entire segment where she's want to live this fantasy life and stuff.
Yeah,
about her
it was about that one.
It was about that one dude. Goes fucking nowhere.
Yeah, because it was apparently a marriage that ended really bad, and she wanted to reconcile and fix it.
Yeah,
and it leads to nowhere when she just suddenly, out in fucking the blue, she goes, "I don't want to live this fantasy anymore. I want a new one."
I'm like, okay. But then again, what's fucked up, what's inconsistent is she then has a different fantasy that she's trying to go to something completely separate. And I'm like...
Of a fire,
of a guy that was trapped in there. I was like, well, okay, why the fuck did you not get in the first place?
Listen, let me explain this part. They also do this fucking storyline. Interesting, but the writing is so fucking bad at this point, it doesn't make any sense, but I can see what they were trying to do. So there's this part where, you focus on that girl in the fire that happened in real life in an apartment, which killed his kid. Then they do like this kind of like Saw type thing where everybody was intertwined and in the apartments in real life,
like happened coincidentally be there at the same time.
And then they set up a twist with one of the guys, and it ended up being relations with this kid that died. But then they do another twist with that girl, which they try to pull like a Saw apprentice kind of
shit, which made no fucking sense. We'll get to that later, but let's to build up to that, because basically what threw me off, what was really from the beginning, because already from the trailers I kind of like really wasn't looking for this. Look, I'm not really too familiar with Lucy Hale. I'm sure she's a fine actress in that show Pretty Little Liars, and I haven't seen Truth or Dare. But her character in this fucking movie annoyed the shit out of me.
Yeah,
she was one of the most she already from the trailers I knew that she was a character I wanted to fucking hate, and she comes across that way.
Well, that's the problem, is she's supposed to be the character we follow, and you get that in the trailers. That's your main star girl. She did it in Truth or Dare, so she's gonna be the lead here. She comes off as a fucking bitch in the fucking beginning of the movie.
Yeah,
because she's throwing out she plays like she's a villain in the show, like the movie Mean Girls.
Yeah,
she comes off like that. It's like, you want your lead to be that fucking ignorant?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Okay, I already hate her. Hope she dies first.
Yeah.
But anyways, the performances by everybody is comical. It is fucking pathetic. Especially the brothers, the Asian guy.
Yeah, those two annoying me the shit.
Oh my god! It's like Malibu's Most Wanted.
And they're that whole bromance that they do that was trying to pull that whole 21 Jump Street 22 Jump Street kind of humor.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, because these guys are throwing one-liners about how they're fucking brothers and stuff, and they're trying to get laid at these parties they go to and shit, and then they come across these guys that. Oh, and that's another thing too, not to jump the gun, but I feel bad for some of the actors involved with this, because we not only have Michael Pena, who really feels like he was kind of miscast.
He was miscast. Yeah, Michael Pena, I'm going to be honest with you, he was heavily miscast, and what he gave in this film was pathetic. One of his worst performances. It's not, I don't know if it's his fault,
or it's probably the way.
Actually, it's a mix of both, because his acting was really bad.
And also,
Rucker was alright. His character was not developed very good. And then that one dude from Sons of Anarchy.
I felt bad for him, because it seemed like, there's probably one scene I think that they could have went with that made his character dark, that they were kind of going with, because he's the guy that the two brother type guys are hanging out at that mansion, and it happens to belong to his house.
Here's where I get confused with the Sons of Anarchy guy's fucking storyline. I don't know if he's there because he's living a fantasy, or if he's the villains that the army guys are trying to go after Because you remember that guy's living in the army dream?
Yeah, it's confusing. It doesn't make sense.
Or is he... Because we get the brothers who are acting like they're like drug people and they're having fun, like they're rich and partying and shit. We don't know if it's their fantasies of running into a Colombian drug lord.
It's never fucking explained.
It's not.
But it's weird. But I feel bad for the guy because they waste him because it's like, you know, the guy has a really good villain presence that I would love to see.
Yeah.
But unfortunately... Well, it doesn't help the fact that fucking movie's PG-13. You can't show brutality.
There ain't no brutality in this film.
Fuck no.
It's soft as a fucking baby's ass.
No, and not to mention the fact that they also everyone in this like they speak in like these weird like island accents or whatever.
Yeah.
Like Michael Pena's.
Well,
accent.
here's the thing that goes throughout this film that made no fucking sense too. You almost thinking it's gonna be some kind of like some cursed tribesmen, because you keep seeing these glimpses of these tribesmen hiding in the jungle and they don't even fucking remember they're in the movie. They don't even come back. You just see glimpses of them. That's all you fucking see.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell was that all about?
Yeah, that confused me.
And then on top of that, you have shit where you have Lucy Hale's character who wants revenge on this girl that bullied her in high school. Okay, I understand you want to go for concept like that, but what's inconsistent... You take a character like this that already starts out as a fucking bitch already from the beginning, and when you try to make her feel like we're sympathizing with her just because she's getting a bully, you still fail as a writing standpoint.
Alright, get this. So this girl is being bullied. So you think the bully's going to be an ass.
Yeah.
The girl. How did they manage to make the bully girl nicer than the girl that got bullied?
Yeah, I'm like, how is it you make Lucy Hale more of a fucking bitch than the other girl that's more nicer and more, like, you know, one that's not trying to get into trouble and shit.
And then we get this cool surgical scene because you saw in the trailer she's tied up in this chain, like kind of like Saul. And there's this part where she's feeling guilty because the guy's about to like cut her open and all this shit. And she does like this electronical shock thing, and there's some water in this scene, so the guy gets shocked so she can save the girl.
Yeah.
How the fuck did the girl not get shocked? Explain that one to me.
Yeah.
Writers.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I get this big fucking mutant guy getting shocked and falling to the floor, but you get this girl that don't even feel a goddamn
It's
thing.
like, oh, I'm fine. I'm healing quick. And then on top of that,
going back to Michael Pena's character. Is this dude do anything different other than just fucking sitting in his desk?
Yeah, all he does is sit in his fucking office.
Hey, can I get another fantasy?
No.
That's it for a scene.
Yeah, literally. I mean, if you would have done more something interesting with this character, I could have bought that. But really, it's all about
you got to think he's running this island. He's wearing that fucking ring, that cursed ring thing.
Yeah.
He's playing a vital role in this, and all he fucking does is no, yes. You want another fantasy? You want this? Cool.
I can't do it because I'm committed to my wife, and I can't let her die.
And the tone, this is why I also criticize his acting in this. He feels bored.
Yeah, it looks like he didn't want to be there.
Like, he's like, no, yeah, yeah, just...
On top of that, here's the problem with tone in this movie, too. How is it that you have these two dipshits that are doing fucking comical moments with the whole bro shit they're doing, and then you have scenes that involve with slasher parts with that, and then on top of that, you're doing fantasy shit. This movie's tone is all over the fucking place on what it wants to be.
This movie is called a horror film, and Blumhouse does horror films like this. But it comes, in the end, it ends up being more comedy, fantasy, and almost probably little to no horror.
Yeah, and even when they
But it's called a horror.
And
it makes no sense. And then, like you said, the comedy thing. The whole bro shit, the fucking, the Malibu's Most Wanted type feel to it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? This is totally deaf as a motherfucker.
Not to mention, even when they do try to do the scares and everything, you fucking know when it's coming. It's all fucking mile away. There's nothing even remotely intense about any of these scenes. And even when they do, it's so weird because the closest we get to like any blood is you have like, when people die in this, which is unexplained apparently, when people die, like the bad guys, they come back to life as zombies and they fucking have blood come out of their eyes.
Oh
and
god, bad CGI blood.
Yeah.
Too. Black blood.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It reminds you of the Truth or Dare with the faces, huh?
Well, they even have a scene similar from Truth or Dare where the girl sees herself, but an evil version of herself, and it's doing that little, trying to be clever and creepy, and it comes off as fucking cheap and what the fuck? You know, like
yeah.
She's turning around and shit. You hear the bones cracking and shit. It's
yeah.
Like, come on.
God.
You're going to give us finally a horror scene, and we were in here for about an hour and a half. I spent more time cringing at all the comedy that I was fucking watching. Oh, and let me bitch you another thing. While this film felt like a dragged ass because it was so boring, tell me how the fuck did this film start off so damn quick? Like, we didn't get no backstory, nobody. Everybody's already in the island.
They're already thrown in there. And
they're already on the island. They didn't tell us how they fucking won the contest.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, we're gonna tell us, and then all we get is just, and here's the biggest problem. Here's the problem with the writing. Most of the fucking movie is them explaining shit back and forth in dialogue form about stuff happening. When your movie is doing nothing but exposition dialogue, telling us stuff about backstories and things like that and why all this happened, that is fucking lazy. You know what another movie that did that last year that fucking failed? Hellboy did the same shit where you're explaining stuff that really has no...
They basically say your audience is fucking retarded. We gotta tell you how to do it.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, your movie wasn't that fucking clever or smart.
And even when they do...
But listen to this fucking complaint I have here. I've done...
The twist endings?
This movie has so much shit in this film that's brought in, and it's not even brought in to build up on. It's just, so much shit just gets introduced throughout the movie. And I can tell you right now, there's about 130 fucking plot lines in this film, or little odds and ends of shit that does not get explained, other than it just apparently sporadically ended up in a fucking scene.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so they're going to lead up to something on that. No, they're just going to fucking forget it and continue. This movie has no structure.
No.
It's no structure. It's like, hey, first draft, everybody go do whatever the fuck you want, and I'll film it, and we'll just call it Fantasy Island.
You know, if it was going for an actual, television series, and you probably, actually spread it out more, maybe you could have done that, but This is a movie. You know, I understand it's based on a TV series, but there's a reason why television shows have more time to spread things out.
I'm going to have to agree. I think that this film probably should have played it safe and should have just been off Netflix.
Or a miniseries, at least.
As a miniseries, because really, if it wants to be like the show, but a darker version, it can't be just in one movie. And two, why does it feel like the people who made the movie, also what Blumhouse is known for this, hiring directors from doing this, they hire people that don't care.
Yeah, they just throw it in there.
I want money.
They'll throw in a quick scene.
You can tell this is handled without care.
Yeah, well, and also with the death scenes too, which fucking PG-13, like we talked with our last Blumhouse movie with fucking Black Christmas. You have actually a scene that looked like it could have been shot R-rated, where a person's getting shot and they're getting their fucking head blown off, and
why? And not with that, what's up with the third act where we're having finally some main people dying, and at the same time there's comedy going at the same time. It just
it's out of nowhere.
Fuck, and then it kills off. This also bothers me because the island, and you're supposed to only have one fantasy. Well, guess what? That's actually scrapped because this is where I get to the problem of what do you call it? Whenever it takes away the vulnerability.
Vulnerability, yeah.
Because these people are allowed to have another fantasy and they just dream that they're alive again.
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Like the guy dies, one guy dies of the bros, of the two brothers, and all he had to do is say, can I have a fantasy? I want my brother alive. Boom, he got his wish. His brother's alive, so, okay, there's no fucking fantasy out of that shit.
Exactly.
Or no vulnerability out of it.
Exactly. That just made that whole fucking route pointless with that. Yeah. Not to mention, I thought the whole essential, the rules that they established in this film really are inconsistent, especially with the fact that, okay,
like the part where the girl's trying to say, hey, I got the wrong fantasy, I want a new one, and he kept telling her no, 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 and then she asked again, asked somebody to ask him, and he goes, okay, yeah.
And then it's like,
so what was all those no, no, no's earlier?
Yeah.
Just say yeah.
Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And But yeah.
This movie gets so fucking lost with its own plot that we actually leave the island and go into real life shit and a house fire or apartment fire. I was like, how the fuck do we end up from there to that?
Yeah, I mean, and not
Where
to mention,
the fuck are we?
and the movie thinks it's going to be clever with its fucking twist endings, where because in the end, spoilers for those you haven't seen it, when we reveal like who the person is behind, like actually, well, at first we're revealed that it has to do with like that person in that fire that we're talking about it's their dream. Then it's later revealed that no, it's actually not his dream. It's actually Lucy Hale's character.
No, you're wrong on this. They were saying that the dream. I think what was supposed to indicate was Michael Pena set it up like that because it was like him and that girl's kid. Was it their son?
No.
It was somebody's child, or they knew the kid, so they set the plan in motion as far as payback. Because everybody, like I said, that's in this movie had a part into that fire, and they didn't know that they knew each other before. So it tries to do that like that Saw 5 kind of plot line, I think it is. Yeah, Saw 5. And and then it ends up being the girl said she was supposed to meet the guy. That's how she's connected, and they were supposed to get together. But then that changed the story, and she goes, "Oh, we was together." I was like,
it didn't make any fucking sense.
You just said you wasn't, and now you are. And then she becomes like this apprentice.
Yeah, like fucking Saul. Of like, what the fuck?
And she goes, "It's been my dream all along." But why were you asking questions of how the island worked? If that's not a twist ending, that's a lost
in her explanation of, but you saved my life. It was just me acting. Fucking lazy writing right there. I'm like,
it's a hey.
This movie.
This is that scene alone seemed like it came out of a draft. Hey, Jeff, we didn't get that twist ending like you get in horror films. Okay, maybe the girl who didn't know about the island knew about the island, and she knew it all along. You're in her dream. Boom.
Fucking lazy.
They must be getting their fucking drafts, writing from fucking children in these type of movies, man.
Well, so...
I've seen, I take that back. I've seen kids write better stories than this. How do you get this fucking stupid, this plot get that fucking stupid as the movie progresses?
Yeah.
And then you get the rinse and repeat of that cool thing, which he is cool looking. He keeps dying, then he just pops out like a fucking GTA game.
Like the surgeon looking dude?
Yeah, fucking just comes out of nowhere.
Darker torture?
It's like, I was like, at the 5th time he was alive, I was like, die, please.
Fucking die already!
God dang, I'm tired of seeing you.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck, this movie just, it goes all over the fucking place, you know? It is so convoluted, and not in a good way, because there are actually points where I was actually fucking almost to the point I was sleeping.
Yeah.
And he was with his son actually fell asleep.
I had a hard time. At this point, I was like, I'm lost, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'm just like, looking at the screen. And then this is where it was like, it felt like I watched a 2.5-hour movie. I was like, please fucking end so I can go home.
And it's like right when they're leaving on the plane.
And like I read earlier, you get... Oh, and they even, in a poor fucking way, they have the plane with this girl.
Yeah.
And she says it in such a nonchalant fucking, it's not
like,
trying.
It's like the plane.
Where she seemed like she's bored.
Yeah.
The plane. Okay. No, more like the fucking pain. The pain, it hurts.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of this theater. But other than that, we could just keep ranting for hours on this. So, that being said, this is definitely my worst film I saw this year. We still got to catch up on some, but this is definitely my number 1 right now, currently. And I do not fucking recommend anybody watching this. Let the shit tank so Blumhouse can fucking learn their lesson. Finally, hopefully. So with that being said, I give this a flat line in Film Phreeks meter.
I agree, man. This is definitely a fucking flat line in the Film Phreeks meter. Once again, another fucking Blumhouse failure of this fucking, PG-13 horror shit that needs to end. Give us back real movies. Work with Jordan Peele again and give us some good horror movies in the future.
Yeah, I don't see how shit like this doesn't land in the hands of people like Jordan Peele, for example.
Or Lee Winnell.
Lee Winnell, who is fucking awesome at writing. Maybe Andy Muschietti.
Yeah.
Him. You got all this talent. Why are we getting dickhead from fucking Pick Your Fucking Nose University and writing? Fucking handling movies.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so...
people who don't know how to write, what the fuck?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who have also seen Fantasy Island and also the original television series from the 70s, and if you've also seen the original 90s revival series as well, let us know in the comments below what you thought about it, and we'll be seeing you in our next review. We'll see you later.
Later.